Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I am about to show you one of the greatest political speeches of all time. It is made by the winner of the presidential election in Argentina, a guy by the name of Javier Milei, who has vowed to end the Argentinian central bank. Central banks are the biggest source of evil right now in the world. It is how they manipulate you. It is how they put control over you. And after this speech, I'm going to show you the most alarming video I've seen of late coming from a central banker. And remember, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We're having lots of fun over here. We're exposing a lot, and I'd love to have you on board.
Nosotros no somos más que nuestros representados. En términos financieros es el derivado. El activo derivado nunca vale más que el subyacente. El derivado existe porque existe el subyacente. Nosotros, existimos como representantes del pueblo porque existe el pueblo. Y es una locura, es un delirio arrogarse que un representante del pueblo es más que el propio pueblo. Es un delirio, es el delirio en el que vive la casta política. Entonces, en nuestro gobierno, los políticos van a tener que vivir la misma vida que vive el ciudadano común. Van a tener que internalizar el resultado. Y si se mandan macanas, no solo van a sufrir los argentinos de bien, van a sufrir más los políticos. Van a tener que vivir como viven los argentinos de bien. Se les acabó los privilegios, se acabó la joda.
The biggest grift in the world is government. They produce absolutely nothing. They take from people who do produce and then redistribute that. And people think they redistribute it to the poor. No, they're redistributing it amongst themselves. Just look at what's going on with Joe Biden and all the millions of dollars that he has funneled into his coffers due to selling out America. And what this guy is saying is the party is over.
Y esto solamente lo puede hacer un outsider, lo puede hacer un tipo que viene de afuera, y no cualquier tipo de outsider, porque está llena la historia de outsider que se meten en estructuras preexistentes. Nosotros somos outsider, porque somos outsider sin estructura precedente, que la construimos para esto. ¿Para qué? Para sacarlos a patadas en el culo. Se acabó la joda, se acabaron los privilegios de la política, se acabó. Una Argentina distinta es imposible con los mismos de siempre. Basta de la joda, se les terminó la joda y por eso me quieren exterminar. Por eso me mandan a los 200 fracasados. ¿Sí? Por eso me mandan a los pseudos intelectuales, por eso me mandan a los curavilleros, por eso me mandan, a atacar por los medios, por eso me atacan los empresarios prebendarios, porque se acabó la joda. ¿Por qué recrudece el ataque? Porque creían que esto no iba a pasar y se encontraron con un tercio de la población gritando libertad. Gritan libertad. Descubrieron que no quieren ser corderos. Descubrieron que se sienten mejor siendo leones. Porque como dije en mi primer discurso, yo no vine acá a guiar corderos, vine a despertar leones y están despertando. Están despertando y se van a comer crudo a los políticos chorros. Se van a comer crudo a los empresarios prebendarios, se van a comer crudo a los sindicalistas que entregan a la gente, se van a comer crudo a los medios de comunicación que fueron funcionales a todos estos chorros para mantener este curro, y se van a llevar puesto a los econochantas, a los encuestolos y a toda esa basura, ¿sí? Que abogan por la religión del Estado porque curran de ahí. Eso, es decir, Argentina está despertando. Hay luz, sí hay luz, porque la gente está despertando. Descubrió que la esclavitud no es negocio. Y hay una vida mejor que es la vida en libertad. Por eso estás viendo lo que estás viendo. Esto lleva la misma dinámica que una función exponencial. Y en algún momento hubo un punto de giro. Y ahora no lo pueden parar, Cuando la función exponencial empezó a crecer, no la podés parar.
Don't you just love listening to this Javier Milei? He talks about it in economic terms, the derivative and the asset. See, the derivative only exists because the underlying asset makes it so. The servant is not greater than the one that they serve. And the servant is the government, and the asset is the people. This is why ending the central bank is so important. And when you watch this next video, keep that in mind.
Introducing the electronic euro, as I know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
How can switching to an electronic currency help?
Now we have in Europe this threshold above 1,000 euros, you cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the gray market. You take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely right. We are considering whether for very small amounts, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
Ever since September 11th, these people cannot shut their mouths about protecting us through their great digital structures and their tracking mechanisms. And we have to give up our freedom to purchase a little bit of security. All the while, these same leaders funnel money to the very terrorist countries that then fund the terrorism that they say they need to protect us from. This is the government creating problems that then they come along as the great savior to solve. But we know that's not what it's all about. And watch this next clip from Tony Blair at the World Economic Forum to tell you what it's really all about.
The technology and the digital infrastructure, I just want to emphasize how important I think that is. Because in the end, you need the data. You need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Some of the vaccines that will come on down the line will be multiple. There'll be multiple shots. So you've got to have, for reasons to do with the healthcare more generally, but certainly for a pandemic or for vaccines, you've got to have a proper digital infrastructure. And many countries don't have that. In fact, most countries don't have that.
Oh, yes. Remember Tony Blair, our great ally in the war on terror under George W. Bush? Yes, and he just can't get enough of jabbing, tracking, and controlling you. That's how these people think. This is why I like this Javier Milei so much. And Donald Trump just announced that he's going to fly to Buenos Aires to meet with him. This will be one of our great new allies in this fight on the real global war on terror. Argentina and Javier Milei are going to be one of our great allies in the real global war on terror, which is the war of big government and control versus we the people. Argentina used to be one of the top 10 richest nations in the world. And after 40 years of socialist control, it has turned into one of the poorest. So now you'll see Javier's plan to fix it all.
Lo primero que tenemos que entender es que el Estado no es la solución. El Estado es el problema. Ustedes, si se fijan acá, tienen la gran raviolada que es el Estado. El gran curro y la fuente de la decadencia argentina, que es el Estado. Esta es la foto del Estado que tenemos hoy. Si nos movemos hacia aquella pizarra, Ministerio de Turismo y Deporte, afuera. Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera. Aunque te resistas. Vamos a seguir por acá. Ministerio de Ciencia y Tecnología e Innovación. Nada bueno salió del sector público. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Trabajo, Empleo y Seguridad Social. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Educación. Adoctrinamiento. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Transporte. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Salud. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Desarrollo Social. ¡Afuera! ¿Cómo queda el Estado? Ministerio de Capital Humano, Ministerio de Infraestructura, Ministerio de Economía, Ministerio de Justicia, Ministerio de Seguridad, Ministerio de Defensa, Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores y Ministerio del Interior. Se acabó el curro de la política. ¡Viva la libertad, carajo!
And one of Javier Milei's first acts was to sign an agreement with the director of Sound of Freedom to end human trafficking in Argentina. Save me all the talk and research about how you dug up how there's something bad about this guy's past. Right now, people, we are either on the side of freedom or totalitarian control. And this guy's on the side of freedom, and I'm excited that he got elected in Argentina. And I'm excited that Donald Trump is going to meet with him and that we now have a global ally in this war against the deep state and the cabal, the worldwide cabal of the World Economic Forum and the One Worlders. Remember to smash that like on your way out, subscribe if you're new, and check out my sponsor, MyPillow. That's right, MyPillow.com, promo code Lumberjack for big savings. Peace out.